Hey everyone out there, it's the 3DJ channel. My name is Jay and today's video is all about my Airsoft Colt Python and the safety tips that I 3D printed for it so I could cosplay and I could airsoft safely. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Quick safety before I start. My previous video about my 1911 3D printed tips, I talked about how to cosplay and how to Comic-Con safely with any kind of fake weapon or even a functional airsoft or Nerf weapon. If they look real, it's a safety issue, so make sure that you have the correct setup for those guns and make sure you follow all guidelines at any event. Not going to go too crazy into this, but like I said, I just want to make mention of before we get into the airsoft gun, to the Colt Python. Okay, so guys, make sure you're following safe practices. Alright, so let's begin with the airsoft gun, the Colt Python, the one I've been talking about. So let me bring out my hand cannon. It is a little heavy. This is the KWC full metal 6-inch barrel Colt Python. It is a really cool gun. I love this. This is my primary when it comes to my costume. I was talking about my zombie wasteland hunter costume. This is my thigh gun. This is my main hand cannon. This is what I will literally destroy the zombies from the apocalypse away with. But let's talk about the gun. So, like I said, it's KWC branded. The cool thing about this gun is, number one, it's got a cool trigger. I mean, a cool hammer. It's a double action. It can either be shot or it can be cocked back and shot, so double action. It also has a cylinder pops out, and there are regular cartridges, bullet cartridges that go in here, and each one of those cartridges hold the ceramic 6mm BB and can be shot pretty fast and pretty far. It also takes a CO2 cartridge, which is pretty easy to install. I mean, you can get a lot of shots off with this, and it's a really cool gun. But, of course, I had to make it mine. I had to add some stuff to it. So, let's talk about the add-ons real quick before we go into the tips and everything else. But, what I added on here is an actual, this is actually a shotgun mount. I modified it so it could mount to my Colt Python. I added some foam pieces so it would mount without hurting the actual gun. Wouldn't scratch it up too much at all. And, of course, this mount comes with a nice green dot laser, which is really, really cool. It has been dialed in exactly to what I wanted it to look like, and it's really cool. I added this flashlight on the bottom, which is a very thin, slim flashlight, which goes on pretty easily, pretty bright LED light, and it's just very slimming. I don't want to make this too heavy, but then again, I don't want to make it too bulky either. Of course, with all these attachments on, it looks really cool. So my big problem was when I got all the attachments done is that the original holster for this cool gun would not work because of this added laser out the side. Of course, it's not going to fit into a standard Colt Python holster. So what I did was I had to make my own Colt Python holster for my hand cannon. So I'm going to show you a video. Take a look. You first explain what the video is going to pretty much be about. You're going to see two different holsters. The first holster is going to be the holster that I purchased with a regular Colt Python cap gun to simulate how the holster works. And then the second video is going to be with my hand cannon into my custom-made holster for the gun. And that's what you're about to see right now, so sit back, take a look, and I'll... Hope you enjoyed those two quick videos of the two different holsters, the one I purchased and the one I made. So let's get started on the 3D printed tips that I made for my Colt Python for the different events I might want to take it to and stuff like that. And of course, be safe with it. So let's go. Let's pull the gun back out. This big heavy guy. As you can see, the gun has a quick barrel in here. Now, when I purchased this, actually, it didn't even come with an actual orange tip. Like on the 1911s, I removed the tip, which of course voids the warranty. But with this guy, there was never any tip. There was nothing. These don't come with an actual tip, but it has grooves inside the actual barrel, which will hold the tip. I mean, you probably could even put a fake silencer on this thing, but not a Colt Python. You don't put a silencer on a Colt Python anyway. It wouldn't look right. But let's go into the tips that I made for this gun, so it would be safe to bring to a Comic-Con or go cosplaying, or even going to an airsoft field. Airsoft fields, you still have to have the safety tips on. So I want to be able to bring this to an airsoft field one day. So that's what I did. So let me first show you the first tip. Of course, this is similar to the tips that I made for the 1911 that you saw in the previous videos. Guys, if you haven't seen that video, go back in my playlist. You'll see it. I'll even try to put a link below to link to that video so you guys can see the 1911 tips. But what I first did is I created the simple hollow tip, which means this is a functional tip, meaning that this gun could still function as an airsoft gun with this tip. And it pretty much just pops right in. I mean, that's a really cool tip. It pops right in, it pops right out. These tips are going to actually be in the cases that I carry this with, so I can take them off, and when I want to use them, I can put them on and pop them on, and I'm ready to go. I have fired the gun with this tip on, and it stays. It doesn't pop off. It stays. I don't think it's going to pop off at any time, especially with the amount of room I've given on the inside and everything. There's no way it's going to pop off. But it's like I said, I really like this gun. It's a really cool gun, and the tips came out really well. So there's our functional tip, and like the 1911s that I did before, I made a non-functioning, which is a complete plug for the gun that plugs in, and this gun is non-functional. It will not hurt anybody. It should not hurt anyone in it. I mean, you can't. I mean, there's no gas. There'd be no bullets. I mean, you put the bullets in without the BBs, but you put the bullets in. I mean, this thing is not going to work, especially if that tip is on there. So this is the two tips that I created. I know, pretty simple, not too crazy, but in this video, unlike my 1911 video, I did a B-roll on me actually designing these tips on 123 Designs. So take a look.
Yeah.
Welcome back again. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let's go into the actual video and what took place. You saw the video I went on 1, 2, 3 design, and I designed the tips for the Colt Python Airsoft gun. Came out really good, but what you didn't see in the video was I had to do that about 4 different times. The first print, after I designed everything, I printed the actual tip, and it was too loose. It wouldn't stay in the barrel. Second one was too tight. Third one was still too tight, and then the fourth one was the one. It was perfect. Popped right in, popped right out. Didn't give me any trouble. The reason why this is an issue is when going to measure the inner diameter of the barrel, because of those threads, I couldn't get a really accurate measurement, so I had issues. But that's part of 3D designing and 3D printing. You have to sometimes mess around with the settings, mess around with the different dimensions, so that's part of it. The outer section of the actual tip was perfect. The size never changed. It was perfect. It was just a matter of just getting this back half, the one that fits into the actual barrel, fitting perfectly. But I have to say, it came out really, really nice and came out perfect. The biggest, like I said, that was one of the biggest hurdles I had when 3D designing these. And I mean, look at these tips. They're not too crazy. They're pretty simple, but of course, when you're talking about something fitting into something else, you have to mess around with measurements sometimes. But like I said, it's part of it. So you have these nice 3D printed tips. I'm going to be loading these into my thingiverse profile, and I'm going to allow people to print them out if they need them for their gun. But the thing is, like, of course, you have to have the KWC Colt Python Airsoft gun to be able to use these tips. But you guys saw my video. They weren't too crazy to make. You saw the different methods I went through to create the 2 different types of tips on the video. But if you guys have any questions about making the tips for your own airsoft guns, or somehow to adjust these to make them work, please comment below of my videos. I haven't seen many comments from people. I would love to see more comments, more feedback from you guys, telling me what you want to see on my channel and asking me questions about videos I've done. Please comment if you can. Alright, next thing, I want to talk about future videos. Let's talk about, before we sign off, about the future videos we're going to be coming up with. So, first thing, I'm going to have an update video on my blade gauntlet. One of the things I'm going to have in that video is an actual 1, 2, 3 design rendering of the blades for the blade gauntlet. It's actually going to show the functioning of the blade, how it rotates and then shoots forward over the hand. So it's going to give you a visual of how things are going to work for the blade gauntlet. Hopefully you guys take a look and you like that. But that's going to be coming on my gauntlet. I also have received some parts that I ordered, new servos, and I have to do some cutting and some manipulation to the plastic to make all the things transition over to the plastic parts versus the metal parts. But hopefully that will be on my next video. I finally got a hold of my friend that's going to be donning the Sub-Zero costume. So he's supposed to be coming next week, and I'll be sitting down with him, measuring him up for the Sub-Zero parts, like the mask. I want him to put the mask on. I want him to tell me if it's any problems anywhere. And then I'll start working on the actual electronics for the glowing part of the mask, which I've talked about in the original video on the Sub-Zero mask. But that's that right there. And I hope, like I said, hopefully he'll be next week, and we'll be able to start doing that Sub-Zero update video. And then I'm going to finally make a video finishing out the 3 guns, or the 3 different types of guns that I have for my Zombie Wasteland Hunter costume. The last gun is the Mad Max sawed-off shotgun, and it's a double barrel, so it has a nice. I'm gonna have 2 different tips. I have to print 2 tips for each different kind, so total I'll be printing 4 tips. 2 functional and 2 non-functional, but that will be on that video. I'll also go over the gun features, and it has a nice breech, so you can breach open the barrel of the gun and actually it takes 2 CO2 shotgun bullets, and the idea is you put the air into those bullets and those shoot out the BBs. I think it shoots a max of 8 BBs at one shot. So it's a really cool gun. I want to show you guys that in my future video. As for any other videos that are coming up, I haven't had many ideas just yet. I mean, as I'm doing working on my blade gauntlet right now, I'm trying to think of other small videos I can do as I'm working on that, just not so I'm not taking too much time in between videos. I know in the past when I was working on the blade gauntlet, I took a while to post my last video from the previous video before that. It took me about 2-3 weeks, which I don't appreciate. I know if I were you guys watching me, you wouldn't appreciate waiting like 3 weeks for more content. So I'm gonna try to shoot a couple of videos. I'm gonna try to maybe even do a quick couple of thingiverse printouts videos, something I printed from thingiverse and cleaned up and made look cool for you guys out there. But those are the future videos coming out, guys. Like I said before, please comment on my videos. Tell me what you guys want to see. Give me some feedback so I can give you some more content. If you guys do like my channel, please give me some ideas. I always want to bring new innovative things. I want you guys to also be innovative and imaginative when it comes to 3D designing and 3D printing. And that's what we're all here for. We're here to help each other out, bounce ideas off each other, and make the world a better place in general. But guys, please like, share, favorite, and subscribe to my channel. I try to load a video every week if I can, and this week was the Colt Python Airsoft safety tips. So guys, I'll see you later, and bye.